Well, our next guest is scheduled to be visiting the University of Maryland this week. He is not exactly like your average basketball recruit visiting a school. You've probably heard a little bit about the story. He is Kyree Walker. He is a 25-year-old. He's a former five-star prospect who has been playing overseas and in the G League for the last few years, and he's made the decision that he's going to play college basketball. And he's with us now here on GCR. Kyree, it's Glenn here in Maryland. It's great to chat with you, man. Thank you for taking the time for us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Kyree, can I ask it as simple as this? Why have you decided that right now you want to play college basketball?
The biggest thing is, getting an education. Like it's never too late to get one. And another one is, just to, you know, really, provide for my daughter. A lot of people are like trying to criticize me uh, and really not like be behind what I got going on. That's understandable. I get it. But also some things that I do think about is like if they had an opportunity, they would do the same thing as well.
It's interesting you say that, right? I saw some of the comments that you made this weekend, and I'm living proof, right? Like I'm 42 years old, and I recently went back to school myself. It's something that people do all the time. Obviously, I'm not an athlete. You recognize that you know that there are people that are opposed to what you're doing. How do you handle that? How do you compartmentalize that? Is it something where you just say that's too bad? Does it bother you? How do you deal with the fact that there are people that are opposed to this?
It doesn't bother me. I just like I said, it just if anybody else had the opportunity, they'll do the same thing. It's simple. I'm not really mad at nobody. People could be mad at me. Whoop de doo. Really wouldn't don't care. But because it's really not for them to understand. Sometimes people, some people are get jealous. Some people get mad and have an attitude, but it's fine. I look at things at a bigger picture. It's really just it's not for them to know. It's for me to know. It's for God to give me another opportunity to do some things and to just move in the step in the right direction.
Can I ask, Kyrie, like when you were going through this process the first time, it was right as NIL was kind of coming into the picture, right? Like we didn't exactly
hmm
know how it was going to play out. If you had been going through the process now, coming out of high school, and the opportunity to make money as a college basketball player was definitively on the table, do you think any of the decisions that you made may have been different?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I just felt like a lot of stuff that I was going through as a kid, I really just looked at life a little bit different at that time. But now it's like, okay, like I don't think NIL really plays any part into it. I mean, that's me personally. It doesn't. It's more about me. I just love the game of basketball. I don't really look into all the NIL stuff because really don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing.
Kyree Walker is with us here on Glenn Clark Radio. Kyrie, if you end up playing college basketball as you intend to, it is your intent that you want to do this for 4 years, that like you want to have the full college basketball experience.
Nah, I won't do it for 4 years.
Okay.
I'll be quite honest. It's not something that I'm not trying to come back for 4 years. But that's not what I'm trying to do. But it's like, all right, it's gonna happen. And when it happens, I just gotta continue to be ready and lock in. That's really what it comes down to.
Obviously, you have do you still feel as though you can play at the highest level as part of this trying to prove that, as you believed clearly a few years back, that you could play in the NBA?
It's not about proving I can play in the NBA. I've been there. Got close enough. So for me, I'm not really like part to worry if I can. A lot of this to really help my career as well too. This is just people I've spoke with and my NBA agent has, and a lot of NBA GMs and scouts feel like it's really good for me to go back to college and revamp myself. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not really worried too much about if I gotta prove myself to anybody, because well, I gotta prove myself to anybody. I've done that before. I'm gonna go out there and do what I've done for a lot of times in my career and dominate it.
Kyree, where did the connection with the University of Maryland or with Buzz Williams come from? And I know you haven't made a decision. You're going to be taking a lot of visits. It could end up being anywhere. I know there's some, geographical history from your time playing with the Wizards in the G League here, but where did the rest of that connection come from that you're going to end up visiting Maryland this week?
I talked to Aki Collins, not too long ago when I first decided to go back to college, and me and him had a discussion, and the goal was for me to play in the 25-26 season, and things got delayed,
And you,
and
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
things got delayed, and I was just like really just like, all right, like I really want to find a place for next year so I can play a full year, and like me talking to Coach Collins, and actually me talking to Coach Williams. Um, it was a really a good process, and I heard their plan. Heard they really liked me. It was a lot of things that went into me going on this visit. I wasn't just like, oh, I'm gonna just go just to go. Like it was a really thought out plan, and you know, definitely like was highly interested in the school and some of the guys that they got coming in next
Yeah.
year. So
I know you're an Arizona guy. Do you know Caden House?
yes, I actually do. That's like a little bro of mine. I know his brother. So his big brother Jalen House. So it's funny. So it's I talked to him a little bit about it, and he was just like, what you doing, bro? Like come over here and mess with us, man.
Hmm.
I just was laughing and stuff, but decision will be made this month, so it won't be a long process. I'm not going on a lot of visits. I'll probably go on a few more, but not too sure. Just going to continue to give it to God and let Him lead the way.
Kyrie, do you worry at all, about we referenced the pushback that, and we saw this with James Najee, and obviously, and you've talked about how the Bediako situation's a little bit different than yours, but do you worry at all that like the NCAA is going to try to prevent guys like you from being able to play collegiately even before next season?
No, I'm not really worried at all because like I never went to college. It's not like I've went and tried to come back. I'm not one of those, so I'm really not worried at all. I'm not. I'm not. My case is different from Bediako's and Amari Bailey's and stuff like that. I ain't never been, so I really have much to worry about. Those guys trying to come back and stuff. Like, I'm more related to like a G League guy because like London Johnson and
Mm-hmm.
Ahmad Muhammad who plays at BYU. Like, so I'm not worried at all.
Do you intend, like, you reference wanting to go back to college? Like, does the education part of this like resonate with you? Is that something that you feel like could still be valuable for you in your life?
For sure. One of my major that I want to do is sports medicine. I
Hmm.
feel like something I did this. I chose personally. Like nobody really had my needed to help me on this decision. And, it was just me. So uh, I personally like, all right, you know what? I want to make this. I want to do sports medicine, and and that's what my major going to be. My major going to be when I get to college.
Wow, I think that's an incredible thing for you to be deciding that you want to do that with your life. Kyree, what should people know about you that like aren't familiar with your game? Like Maryland fans, what should they be aware of what it is that you bring to the table as a basketball player?
I'm a double double guy every night when I just that's regardless. I'm played overseas already. I've like dominated that. Like I dominated in Greece. I dominated anywhere I played. Um, like I've I got a great motor. I impact the game in many ways. You know, standing at 6'7" and be able to dribble, shoot, and be athletic. It's not much, I cannot do out there. Like there's nothing that I can't do.
And obviously, you
So,
reference, the Caden and Bob Oladoton, who Maryland's bringing in, and maybe Pharrell Payne coming back. You could start to feel like maybe if that was where you ended up, that could be a pretty interesting combination of guys next year.
oh, for sure, for sure. You definitely get, definitely interested. Like it's definitely like something like you know, it's definitely an interesting situation.
All right.
And them being my first visit ever, and I never took a visit when I was in high school, so it would be great to, it's gonna be great for my first visit.
Kyree, is there anybody in your life that like you've had to win over about this? Like, is there anybody that like just sort of shook their head and said, "Are you really doing this?" Like, or was everybody kind of on board with it when you told them that's what you wanted to do?
Really, no, nobody really said anything. Honestly, everybody was like, "All right, you want to do it? Let's do it." My people backed me, on my decisions. They just asked me like, "All right, how you going to do it, and what you need from us? If you need us, let us know." And throughout the process, I needed my mom a lot to help me with the application process
Mm-hmm.
to get, for schools and get my stuff to the clearinghouse. So it was a lot.
Can I ask before I let you go, Kyree? You referenced your daughter before, right? Like I tell
Yeah.
everybody nothing prepares you. Like everybody told me how much my life was going to change, and I still didn't understand it until it happened, right? What has being a father changed about you as a human, as a basketball player, and the way that you look at life?
My daughter has blessed me in many ways. She's now 10 months today, actually. So, um, for me, it's like fatherhood has just taught me how to be more wiser, taught me how to be calmer, patient. I think is another thing, and just understand like I got to protect her with my heart and everything I have. So a lot of like recently, like dealing with this, a lot of people been been talking that disrespectfully about her and talking nasty about her, like and telling people telling me they're gonna do stuff to my daughter,
Hmm.
and I was like, and I kind of take that personal because I feel like you can talk crazy to me. I don't mind the hate, but when it comes to my daughter, I feel like that's really off the limits because she's a baby. You know, I just don't appreciate stuff like that. I had made a statement about that, just leaving her out of a lot of the stuff that the hate directly towards me. Just make sure it stays on me.
Hmm.
My daughter doesn't have nothing to do with with none of this. It's not her fault. It's not. She don't know what's going on. But I don't. I just don't feel comfortable with people feeling like they can. You know. I don't feel comfortable when people feel comfortable disrespecting her. So she's my everything. Like I wake up and I do everything I can to be a better dad every day, and she has made me a better basketball player too as well because I go hard. It's just gives you a reason to wake up every day and and go harder. So
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that perspective, and I think that I would echo. I think any human being that is saying something nasty about a child, they should be under the jail, man. Like that is about the worst possible thing that a human being
yeah,
can
I've
do. Yeah.
I've I've been through a lot of I've been through a lot of trash talking people, bad
Yeah.
mouthing me, which is fine. I do not mind like that. It comes. This is going. I know it was gonna come with it, but
Mm-hmm.
when he gives to my daughter, I've kind of like that's an off limits,
Yeah.
and I could kind of say it's been between like 50 to 60 people. That's from what I've seen, and that's just people DMing me. That could be, and I know it's more, but I just don't appreciate that. That's all.
This was it's a question, Kyrie, that I'm going to ask. Somebody's going to say, is it fair for a 25, a 26-year-old to be going up against 18, 19-year-olds? And I think the answer
Um,
is we see it in the NBA, right? Like that
if I'm not,
happens.
if I'm, and also if I'm not mistaken, I don't know why everybody acting like I'm the first ever 25, 26-year-old that's playing college basketball.
Right.
Let's cut that out. I'm not. There's multiple guys I can name. I can name drop a lot, but I'm not going to do that. But there's a few guys right now that play college basketball that is 24, 25, 26, 27, even 28. So I don't know why everybody acting mad at me. Like I was the first ever 25-year-old decided to go back to play college basketball. Nah, man.
I understand, and I assure you that I asked the question because I feel like I have to, but I also promise you I know the answer to it. I know the
Yeah,
way that it goes.
I don't know why everybody. And that's the thing. I'm like, I get it. If I was the first one, I'd be like,
Right. Right.
but I'm like, there's guys that stay in there for 8 years, 9 years.
We've watched it. We've been watching it. Um,
Yeah,
Ky-
and
Kyrie, I know you're not like big on social media, but Kyree Walker 1 is the best way for people to follow you on Twitter or Instagram, right?
yeah, it is. I don't, I'm not a crazy social media guy. I know I have a lot of followers, but I gotta just be chilling. I take time and just like, mind my business.
Kyrie, I really appreciate the perspective that you have as you go through this. And obviously, if you end up at Maryland, there's going to be an awful lot of people that love you. Whatever everybody else thinks, there's going to be an awful lot of people
No,
around.
no, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure. I'm not familiar with the area a little bit. I'm not,
Yep.
so it's not like, I'm like just like, oh, I don't know what's going on now. I'm familiar with the area. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Can't promise you
I
anything.
understand.
Uh,
I understand.
all I can say is I'm tomorrow when I take my visit it's gonna be great. That's all I can say.
Kyrie, best of luck to you, to your daughter, your whole family, wherever this process takes you. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes with us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys so much.